Hi, everybody. I'm Joanne Binford with Binford Chronicles again. I kind of wanted to touch base with you guys just before Thanksgiving because we're all going to be busy with the holidays. I won't go live on Thursday because I'll be with family. But I wanted to remind you about the discussion that I brought up regarding epic estates. I'm not done with it. I'm still doing a lot of research on it. The thing that concerns me is that everything leads me to Texas. And if you're staying in touch with what Greg Abbott is doing over there in Texas and what's going on and all of the new messages that have opened up in Texas, what's happening in Plano, Texas, the fraud that they're coming up with, the fraud that they found in Epic Estates, which is now the Meadows. A lot of stuff is going on, and they are using all of our laws to pretty much uh, make ground to move forward. I would like to see, I know that Governor DeSantis is working on a law. I think that the Muslim Brotherhood should be designated a cult and not a religion. Most religions are pretty peaceful. This is not just a religion, but it's an ideology of law. And that law is dangerous to you, to me, to women, to our way of life. There is no freedom of speech. There is no, women are objects, literally objects. What happened in New York City, I'm very sad for because New York City is going to go down, and women, be careful in New York City because as the Muslim population grows in New York City, it will get more dangerous for you. And there's a lot of footage and information out there for you to study and learn more about the situation. I had a friend that gave me some access to some research information where I have access online to use a research helper. And it also took me to another Epic Estates that is in Texas, and it's called Epic Estates at Hutto LLC. And that also goes back to Sri Devi Yaramseti, which is, I think, either a relative or the wife of Venkatesh Yaramseti. It's hard to make these connections, and I think it always will be hard to make these connections. Kind of like pack money, you go from company to company to company to company till it's just polluted with so much information of companies and so many people involved that it's really hard to make certain connections. However, my biggest concern is that these are targeted states. I didn't bring the map with me, but I'm going to post it later on. And I'm looking at the United States and I'm looking at all the electoral college, the states that have the highest electoral colleges. Now, if you go and you can pull it up on the website yourself and start circling those states that have the highest electoral colleges, and then ask yourself, where is the infiltration happening? This is concerning we are in jihad. I'm telling you right now, we are in the war of jihad. Right now, it's ballot jihad, jihad at the ballot. And that means they're trying to infiltrate our government seats, our local seats, our school district seats. They will move into all of these seats. So please, when you're going to vote, think about the future of America and the ideology that you want in place. We will lose our liberties, and you will not realize it till they're gone that you were voting on the wrong side if you're voting to have these people in office. We need true Americans, true constitutionalists. I also want to say I'm pretty pissed off at Trump. Look, Massey, um, uh, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, they are strong constitutionalists. And what you need to look at is not only what they have to say and their opinions, but how are they voting constitutionally when it comes to the House, the Senate, all of your representatives. Learn what their constitutional voting scores are, because right now we have a minority of strong conservatives that are holding up our really constitutional bills. The rest of them are voting against constitutional bills and implementing under the Republican conservative representation name, and they're voting like Democrats. Look at those bills. You can go to the Heritage Foundation, you can go to the freedomindex.com, and look those up. And I'll bring them up later on, probably next week, just to have a conversation about it so that you can see. Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be a 90% constitutional bill voter. And that's important. Why? Because if you listen to her talking, she makes some really good points, and they're the same points that you and I have. Executive orders are temporary. We need strong constitutional representatives to back the president so that we can put those constitutional bills forward. He can make all the executive orders he wants and we can be good for now. But when he's gone, and he's going to be gone, he is not going to have another election. So get it in your head. If you're still thinking 2028, just wipe it off the slate. We have to prepare for who's not going to be in office. And we have to prepare now because time is running out. Time is literally running out. And we need to express the need for these bills. What I was going to say earlier is Ron DeSantis is working on a bill for the cult. You know, the Islamic Brotherhood needs to be put down as a cult, because right now what they're doing is they're using those school vouchers, those school vouchers for you homeschoolers or for you parents that are living in poor school districts and you want to take your kids to good school districts and you're very American. Well, those school vouchers are also being used, because they can be used in private schools. They're being used in private Islamic schools that are teaching these young children Islamic law and how to hate American people, how to hate Christians, how to hate Jews, that's what's happening. And in Florida, we have about 180 mosques, and they're small. We have a small one right here that has grown. It started out in one suite in those little strip centers. It started out in one suite, and now it's in two suites. So once they start growing, and it's easy for them to grow because they start to advertise that. Right now, you can go on the internet and pretty much find them. They're in the open. They're in the open on X talking about it. And why are they in the open? Because they feel they have such a good grasp. But now all these people that came in, they are directing them where to go to strengthen that tribe. So before Thanksgiving, I want you to thank the Lord, thank God for all the freedoms that we were able to grow up on, all the wonderful things that we've had in our lives and opportunities that we've had, and be thankful for that. We can lose that overnight, and we're at that stage. Just think about it. Our kids are not going to have the opportunities that we had growing up. My own children do not have the same opportunities I had when I was 25, and compared to my children, I was a fuck up. Compared to them, they have had more resources in their lives than I ever did. Yet their lives are so much harder to get on their feet than it was for me. And that is an observation that we really need to keep intact, because we have to remember the world is getting harder, and it's getting harder. Why? It's getting harder because government has grown. Government is way bigger now than it was when I was growing up. The bigger your government gets, the less liberty you have, the more entitlement you have of people. We saw that on the EBT cards. We saw all of it. People trying to buy things on their EBT cards. People literally getting on social media and saying, this is a generational thing. I'm going to inherit it, and I'm going to teach my son how to live off of the government. The government should be taking care of me. What those people don't understand is it's not the government that's really taking care of them. It's you. It's me. It's the neighbor. It's everybody that's working and struggling. I worked and I struggled. And there were some times where I cried in the shower because I didn't know how I was going to pay the bills. But I wasn't taking unemployment. I was working and living paycheck to paycheck. Yet these people, the taxes that I'm paying that were making it hard for me to pay and live, were living scot-free, having more kids. So this is the entitlement that we've allowed to build by allowing our government to grow. And for Indian River County people, you know that Children's Services Advisory Committee that we have, that's in the $4 billion now, or $4 million, excuse me, not billion, but $4.2 million are being spent to nonprofit agencies. And our unemployment rate has increased. Our dropout rate has not gotten better. Our, our homeless rate has increased. Yet they're saying that their services are going to prevent this in the future. Yet we are in the future. These people have been around for 10, 15 years, living off our taxes, going from $150,000 that we used to give out to nonprofits to now 4.2 million. So we really need to talk about that and stop it. We need to stop it. Because let me tell you something, the more money I have in my pocket, the more I'm going to contribute to nonprofit organizations that I trust and believe are doing their job. Right now, my money is going to nonprofit organizations that I totally disagree with. There are a couple in there that I'm good with, that I would donate, but because I'm getting ripped off and my taxes, I don't donate to them right now because I'm already donating through my taxes. But I would play more of a role in those nonprofits that I love and believe in if I didn't have that money taken out of my taxes. So anyway, when it comes to Islam, I would like to see everybody paying close attention to what's going on in their communities, because somehow they're getting into the communities as regular people under this image that we are not Islamic, but they really are. And the Islam Brotherhood is a danger to us as citizens. It's a danger to women. Mostly women. They will hurt us. They will RAPE us. They will beat us. They will mistreat us. We are objects. And for Christians and Jews and Baptists, anybody, you're not accepted. And for the LGBTQ, read your history. They will use you until they don't need you anymore, and then you will be discarded like worse than an old pair of shoes. So I just want to leave that with you guys today, but also I want to leave you with happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey, enjoy your family, and we'll see you the following week when we come back. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget Binford Chronicles. I'm trying to go on every Thursday at 7 p.m. I might have a few that I miss here and there because life gets busy. But until I can get a co-host to join me, I'll do my best to show up on Thursdays. Otherwise, I'll do some pre-recordeds Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and then we could shoot those out on Thursdays. Have a great day, and don't forget to look me up also on Indian River Connections, IRC Media, because I do the board report with John Karapi, Thomas Augustus, Kevin McDonald, and Jennifer Pippin just about every Friday at 7 p.m. Otherwise, it's John, myself, and one of our commentators every Friday at 7 p.m. on the board report. Thank you so much, and we'll see you after Thanksgiving.